The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the August 25th, the marvelous Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. And, of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we've got a bit of a mixed bag out there. The mix is coming from the NASDAQ, which is up 12. The semi's up 25. The NASDAQ Composite is up 42. You got the Dow down 221. The S&P's off 9. Russell's off 9 points out there. Transport's down 154. So we got a mixed bag out there. NVIDIA, one of the stocks that actually we've got a request in from Tom G with regard to NVIDIA, as long as I've got that up on my screen here. There is a new profile that formed this morning. That new profile is above the prior profile. The bottom is at 173.07, and we are trading right now into the sell zone. The sell zone on a daily basis for NVIDIA, profile-wise, is 180.18 to 183.02. When we look at the weekly time frame, and NVIDIA still has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. The only way that gets negated is a close above 183.30. If we do that for the daily time frame, you will be above profile resistance, its oscillator and change line, above another top, and you'd be off to the races. However, the weekly chart says not so fast. I'm completing my TD9 count top this week, so by Friday, and I'm trading inside a bearish structured weekly profile. So we got a bearish structured daily profile, a bearish structured weekly profile. In the sell zone on a weekly basis between 174.58 and 184.48. Tom, if you look at the very bottom right-hand panel of my screen, you're going to see the 30-minute time frame chart for NVIDIA. It is traded in an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. This is the fourth 30-minute bar in a row to the upside. That's very strong out there. Looks like price wants to go target the 182.50. What I can say is that as soon as a bearish reversal candle forms, or should one form, that would then trigger on a 30-minute basis a Gartley sell pattern or a sell the D point top, and that would then suggest that price would pull back to support. At the present time, I'd say support is 178.59. You're looking for an entry point to go long, I believe, is what you were looking for. With us trading into the sell zone on the daily and the weekly, and knowing that we've now extended this NVIDIA 30-minute A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. Now is not the time, but you do have that new profile. And if price were to pull back towards that 173.07 level, that could be your area to explore for an entry point. If I just look for any other signals that I've got, or just signals on my main screen out here, we can see that the healthcare sector is signaling a TD9 count top finished on Friday, and we'll go ahead and complete today. So let's go ahead and see where this is likely headed to. Or take a look at the XLV. You can see the TD9 count top out there and a new profile that has formed today. That new profile has resistance at 138.36. The center is at 137.04 maybe. Let me find out. 137.04 out there. We are trading below that. if we close below that, it would increase the odds, move back to the 135.05 level. That is the bottom of its daily profile. If the XLV closes below that, then we go take a look at the weekly time frame, and the weekly time frame would suggest to move back towards 132.73. What we know about the daily time frame and its TD9 count top is that it has not bottomed yet, at least intraday, because if we look at the 30-minute time frame chart, we can see price is now trading below for 2 consecutive sessions its breakout level, 137.02. So that is suggesting lower price to us. I would say lower price for the healthcare sector, not so healthy, would be moving down towards that 135.05 level. I believe that is the only signal that I've got for the daily time frame. That is Avgo. Broadcom is going to go ahead, just like NVIDIA, we talked about its TD9 count top. AVGO has got a weekly TD9 count top as well. Let's take a look at what it is doing. It's trading with inside its profile, and it has a buy zone, which is between 268 and 284. The sell zone, if you will, the top of the profile is at 311.88 out there. When we look at the daily time frame chart, Broadcom has formed a new profile. This new profile is actually below price. The top is at 313.80. And the buy zone is between 285.42 and 292.51. Now, price closed above the center of that buy zone on Friday. We are trading above it today. What that tells me is Avgo is getting ready to rally up towards its oscillator and change line, currently printed at 305 and change, or more likely, the top of its daily profile. That new profile formed on Friday, 313.80, becomes that price target. The 30-minute time frame had a TD9 count top. Price pulled back and appears to have found support at the top of its profile. That was at 290.98. We're trading above its green oscillator and change line. It looks to me like we should see a further intraday rally inside of ticker symbol AVGO. So nothing else, I think, to report on this set of screens out here. So let's take a quick peek in on the daily equity future contracts and see what information we can glean there. We'll begin with the ES Mini. It's on the upper left-hand side. The ES Mini running into its perigee pivot point resistance level, which is at 64.8975. We hit that on Friday. We rejected it. We again tested it overnight and rejected that level. We are trading, so that is clear resistance for the ES Mini. Again, 64.8975. The next apogee pivot point comes in, I believe it is on Friday morning, around 10 or 11 o'clock, sometime around there. If we take a look at and prices, so you've got resistance at 64.8975. You have support at the top of its profile, 64.45. We take a look at the NQ. The NQ forming a new profile on Friday. We are trading above that right now. Now, the interesting thing about this profile is that this new profile, the bottom is above the prior bottom out there. The center is, where is the center? 24.68. The center is at 23.861, and the top is at 24.068. That is the exact same profile that was in place before at the top out there. So what's that tell us? It's more of a sideways consolidation message from a profile standpoint. Now, look, we are trading above the bottom of that profile. And if we close above the bottom of the profile, it would increase the odds of a rally up towards the 23.788, 23.861 level. Hey, on Friday, the Dow and the Russell 2000 negated their topping patterns for their daily time frame, for any time frame, quite frankly. They need new bearish reversal candles to form tops out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We get back to this break. We're looking at FMCC, RGTI, TNGX, Disney, Toon, VNet, and Marvell and BE. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Before we get into the requests out here, let's take a quick peek in at the 30-minute equity future contracts out here. Really interesting signals. You know, we had the Russell and the Dow that at this moment in time, they have to say for their daily time frame are stronger than the ES and the NQ. Yet this morning, when we take a look at it, it's the exact opposite. What I mean by that on the 30-minute time frame is the ES and the NQ both have TD9 count bottom patterns. You can see on the NQ, price is trading above its TD9 count breakdown resistance level of 23,559.50. That suggests that it runs for its recent high out there. That would say about the 23,650 level. If you look at the ES Mini is getting ready. It's got a TD9 count bottom, getting ready to take on 6480. No idea whether that will be the level where price, in fact, we're within a couple of ticks of it. But if price goes above 6480, its TD9 count breakdown resistance area, it too will rally further. So you've got the ES and the NQ perhaps lifting markets to the upside. Whereas in the case of the Dow equity future contract, got two negated TD9 count bottom patterns. The Russell 2000 would negate its TD9 count bottom pattern with a 30-minute close below 2356.20. We're at 2355.90 as we speak right now. 11 minutes left in this 30-minute trading session out there. So again, kind of a mixed bag, mixed set of signals out there. Let me close down this chart here and or set of charts, and we would go take a look at FMCC for Mary Jo in Naples. Before we get there, I believe what I say. I always believe what I say, and I love really starting the show off because it's part of my belief system, which is that everything in life happens for us, not to us. I think if everybody could live by that philosophy, just that one main philosophy, there'd be a whole heck of a lot of happier people out there. And so where I'm going to take this to is those of you that are golfers had a lot to celebrate, I think, this week. And it seemed to me like almost every golfer that I spoke to this weekend, or I won't say almost, how about every golfer that I spoke to this weekend was really pulling for Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood is a individual, a British guy who has been very close over the past number of years. I think he came on the PGA Tour in 2014, so that's about 11 years out there that he's been playing, and he's finished second runner-up a number of times out there, and was kind of getting to be one of these players that everybody was asking, when are you ever going to win, kind of a thing. And but if you ever listen to his interviews, he was not negative about it. it. He took a look at things as everything was still happening for him, and it kept putting him into the position to at least to have that opportunity to win. And yesterday he came through with flying colors out there. I mean, I think it was just a worldwide celebration. So just again, and look, I just. Like, I believe also the way you do anything is the way you do everything. You think about that, you could just apply that to your kids. Now, that'd be the first place where you apply it to yourself, too, though, and you can learn a whole lot about yourself. In any event, let's go to our first week. So congratulations to Tommy Fleetwood. I think it was the most wonderful thing for golf, for the PGA Tour to end like that. Long live the PGA Tour. That live golf stuff, I hope it just goes bankrupt. I can't watch that. I'm a golfer. I can't figure out what the Sam Heck those guys are doing on that tour. And anyway, let's take a look at FMCC for Mary Jo in Naples. And her question is it a sell? And so here's what I'll first share with you, and that's by taking a look at the monthly time frame chart. I don't know how long you've been in this position, but on a monthly basis, this is going to go ahead and complete a TD9 count top. That doesn't mean that it's going to be a top out there, but the last time on a monthly basis we had a TD9 count top, Mary Jo, was March of 2024, and that led to basically a sideways move really up until November of 2024. So we're looking at that's on the monthly time frame chart. I will also share with you on a monthly basis that even though you've got a TD9 count top, I would have to qualify this as being a neutral signal. And the reason why I say it's a neutral signal is because price is trading above both its oscillator and change line, which is green, and the top of its profile. Now, on a weekly time frame, the weekly time frame does not have a topping pattern. If we were to get a bearish reversal candle, then you would have a Rhodes momentum indicator top. And it just depends on where that would close, because support is at 850. Out there. If we look at the daily time frame chart out here, Mary Jo, we do not have any kind of a topping pattern. What we have is price trading with inside its daily profile. So 929 is a key level of resistance. Has been tested 3 different times and is held each time. Price is trading inside a Bowler structured profile, the buy zone between 845 and 873. It really depends. So you do not have a top on the daily. Consolidation, yes. No top on the weekly time frame chart. And the monthly is giving us a topping signal. So at the end on Friday, you will have a confirmed, completed TD9 count top out there. And that says price could pull back. I'm not saying it's going to, but price could pull back towards the 598 level out there. So depending on how long you've been in this, would I sell it? I don't know. It really depends on that. I don't. There's no levels of support that have been broken, and you at least need to get that first level of support broken, which would be that daily time frame. That would require a close below 845 out there. But if you're a conservative, then no reason not to take those profits and wait for the next trade setup. Tom wants to take an RGTI. He's looking for an entry area. So let's get those charts pulled up on our screen out here. RGTI trading out right now at 1443. So Tom, prices trade. It's got a Rhodes momentum indicator top. It spent all last week below its bullish structured daily profile. That opens up a door over time to pull back to support. The next level of support on a daily basis is down at 1080. So I'm not seeing a buy point, an entry point on a daily time frame. On a weekly time frame, I don't have a top. I don't believe we have a top. Let me just measure this A to B equals CD pattern. Just make sure, because my eyes are somewhat sketchy to begin with. So let's take a look at that. Did it complete that? No, it did not. So it doesn't have a weekly topping pattern, but price has lost momentum. Last week closed below its green oscillator and change line. This week we're trading below that. That's adding to the idea that we should see lower price on the daily time frame. The next level of support on a weekly basis, I'd have to go with where old resistance was at, which is at 1234. Finally, on that monthly time frame, no topping pattern out there. Monthly's not going to really assist us. Price trading in a gargantuan profile. 274 is the bottom, and that's probably the center as well. And 2142 is resistance. That's a doozer of a profile out there. So I don't really see the entry point right now as we speak, Tom. So let's see if we can find one in your next request, which is ticker symbol TNGX. So let's pull that up on our screen, see what we got going here. TNGX is trading out at 689. It is consolidated with inside its daily profile between 650 and 719. That's after having formed a Rhodes momentum indicator top back at at on August the 19th out there. So you do have a daily top. You have a buy zone between 650 and 673. On a weekly basis, we have a TD9 count top. That would be negated. That by the way, that formed July 18th. We've been trading sideways ever since. If price were to close above 714, it would be off to the races to the upside. But remember, you have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the daily time frame that needs a close above 742 to negate that pattern out there. So on the daily time frame, price has pulled back after that TD9 count. It continues to find support at the top of its profile. That says 651 is a really key level of support. So you got 650 on the daily as the bottom of that buy zone and 651 as the top of the profile on the weekly time frame chart. Tom, I'd say it's really that 650, 651 level out there, because if price closes below that, then you know that being long is wrong. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at Disney, Toon, VNet, Marvell, BE, JMIA, and FIG. Be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. Fletch wants us to take a look at the stock charts for Disney. The question is, any hope of getting to 120? You know, Disney formed a beautiful daily TD9 count bottom, Fletch. It completed that pattern back on August the 8th, and we've rallied ever since. Price right now is taking on the top of its bullish structured daily profile. If price is able to close above the top of that profile, which is at 118.77, we're 118.71 right now, price should make a move to 121.40. And that's what's going to get you close to your 120. So the answer to your question is going to be revealed here relatively soon, I would say, the next day or so, maybe the next couple hours or so out there. But if you can close above the top of that profile, the answer to your question is yes, you will get up or should get up towards the 121.40 level, or at least that would be the next area of resistance out there. So you're looking for price to be able to close above the top of that profile, 118.77. The weekly time frame, which formed a TD9 count top, found support in its buy zone. So when price on the weekly base was pulling back into the buy zone, the daily time frame was forming that TD9 count bottom pattern. That's how you like to see it take place. And now on the weekly time frame, price closed above its green oscillator and change line on Friday. We are trading above it now. And as long as price remains above 118.39, that's the weekly oscillator and change line, price ought to make a move to 124.69. So I would say there's hope not only of 120, there is hope of 124.69. That's going to require some battles out there, but the charts are pointed in the right direction for that to unfold. If we look at now we have as price is hitting on Friday, as price was hitting the profile resistance level, that was only day number one to the upside out there. So not bad. Even if it doesn't make it today, it's not like we're saying that this can't make it out there. On a monthly time frame, price above resistance, that's both its bearish structured profile as well as its oscillator and change line. Its resistance level is really where we've seen prior tops out here, which is like March of 2024, which are 123.74. So that's going to be your real key area of resistance out there. On the monthly chart, you can see the clear consolidation, sideways consolidation between about the 80 figure and 123 or so out there. So I hope that helps you out, Fletch. I say there is hope of 120. The question is, can the buyers take out those sellers at the top of that daily profile? And soon enough, we'll find out the answer to that. Dan wants to take a look at Tune out here. Tune has a daily TD9 count bottom pattern. That formed way back here on August the 7th. And now price is dealing with, well, a few days ago, last week, what price did was rallied right up into that TD9 count breakdown resistance level, 77 pennies. So we know that's a key level of resistance. Another key level is 76 cents, which is the top of its daily profile. So that's where your real battle is, 76 and 77. If you close above 77, Dan, this thing should move higher. Move higher to where? Well, on a weekly time frame, price is above the top of its profile. It's above. It is above its oscillator and change line. I would draw in a trend line, just kind of see where this takes us to. I would say that more likely where Tune is headed to, if it can clear 77, it'll head to that trend line, which is really about 79 cents out there. So if you can get above that descending trend line on a weekly basis, that would be very nice. And on the monthly chart out here, I don't think I've got anything to really share with you. Unfortunately, I'd love to, but I don't. So that's what's going on. We take a look at Tune. Nitram wants to take a look at VNet out here. So let's pull that up on our screen, see what this is doing. VNET is trading out at $7.86. That is below its oscillator and change line, so it's lost its momentum. That oscillator and change line has really acted as resistance for a couple weeks. We got to close above it on Friday. Like this, at this moment, at least at 11:34, it says that was a false breakout move. Price just consolidating between its sell zone, which was 864 to 916. That's where price found resistance on Friday as well. If you can't bust them to the upside, maybe price going to try to bust them to the downside. Let's see. The volume on the swing point that is trading into is the trading day of August 1st. Volume there, 8.4 million shares. Today so far, we've done 2.8. So we've done 3 million in 2 hours. That's about 9 million if we were to keep up the same. Wait a minute here. Yeah, 2.8 going into 8.4. So it's going to be close. If we close inside or below 789, where that would get us back inside that swing point, Right now, the volume is suggesting we would get down and test that low. That would be 717 out there. On a weekly time frame, VNet is trading below its oscillator and change line, so it's lost momentum. If it remains below that, it being 809, it opens up the door for a 670 move out there. On a monthly time frame, you've got a nice TD9 count top. Price found support in this buy zone. That buy zone on the weekly basis will be between 386 and 523. What it then did last month is ran all the way up to resistance, the top of its profile. That was $9.32 out there. So you got a consolidation with inside its profile. It's between 386 and 932. I'd have to say, Nitram, that VNet right now, the daily time frame is suggesting that it wants to move lower. We talked about the swing point in the area to be watching. So that's what I see when we take a look at VNET. Hope that helps you out. Duncan Steve wants to take a look at Marvell. MRVL is the ticker symbol. Let's go see what it is signaling to an eye. Trading out at 73.50. That happens to be above the top of its daily profile. The top of that daily profile, and that daily profile formed on Friday, is 73.15. So if we close above 73.15 today and tomorrow, number one, that's going to suggest that we make a move up to its oscillator and change line, 75.43. What I see for Marvell is a buy the D point, or a Gartley buy pattern that formed with that bullish hammer candle on August the 20th out there. So you do have a nice bottoming pattern for the daily time frame. Price ought to rally towards 75.43. The weekly time frame does not have a topping pattern. Price pulled back last week and found support at the bottom of that profile, 69.73. Your resistance is basically a zone between 74.91 and 78.36 out there. So 75.43 still seems like a likely outcome. On a monthly basis out here, price is finding resistance at its oscillator and change line. So we don't like that, so to speak, from the standpoint that this month we have tested, in essence, that area, 81, and we've rejected it. I'm still going to go with the fact that the daily and weekly are suggesting higher price to us. So I would say that 81.01 level becomes another area to be watching. So we've got, with regard to Marvell, we got a daily Gartley buy pattern, buy the D point bottom. Price should rally to 75.43. You got 74.91 and 78.36 as a resistance zone on the weekly, and $81 as resistance on the monthly. That's what we see. We take a look at Marvell. That was for Duncan Steve. Duncan also wants to take a look at ticker symbol BE. Will you be my... Don't know what it is or what they do, but they are being, that's for sure. BE is trading out at about $48.78, and they're having a party. They're having a wonderful party. And they gave to the TD9 count top on Friday. Price is trading above all resistance out there. Has a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. Only a bearish reversal candle would confirm a top. The weekly is in bar number 7. That says that this thing wants to move higher in the daily, the monthly. Well, you are in month number 4 to the upside. So this could be running, it may be getting ready to take a breather out there, but I don't see it on the daily or the weekly, not just yet. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're looking at ticker symbol JMIA. That is a Jumia Technologies AG out there. SatP wants to add some shares or take some shares in this. And, you know, you got a beautiful daily time frame chart from the standpoint that right now it appears it's going to negate its daily TD9 count top. It'll accomplish that task with a close today above 817. We're at 845. So that's the first thing. Now, ordinarily you'd think, hey, that's going to be a great thing. And I'd say that it is. However, the weekly and monthly say, it's the weekly that says, hold your horses here. You're going to complete a TD9 count top at week's end out there. Now, whatever the high is for the week, if price closes above that, that tells you about a strong upward momentum move. So there's a possibility for that. This is going to be week number 4 to the upside, more likely than not. So it's it's used a lot of energy to make that move. So odds would favor that price would pull back. Now for support on a weekly time frame, Sat, we would use 509 to 560, but I think it's a daily support that we'd be watching first, and that's around 774 to 752 out there. That could be a place. It might be a place to consider take a look at a few shares. Just depends on how it trades down to that level, if it trades down to that level. The monthly time frame, which has now look, you have a beautiful TD9 count bottom on the weekly time frame, so that's what formed that. So let's respect the TD9s out here with it completing that pattern as we come to week's end. On a monthly time frame, what this has is a TD9 count top. That was back in July of 2024. Forms a TD9 count bottom, does that in April of 2025. And what you have to love is this month that we are trading above both profile resistance. It's TD9 count breakdown level at $6 even Steven out there, but we are trading into a swing point. That's the TD9 count swing point that had volume back there in July of 2024 of 159 million shares. So far, we're up at 103. This does about 25 million shares a week, so it's going to come into that swing point with lighter volume. But it's not a top. It's just moving into a prior top out there. So it's really going to be mostly about the weekly and the daily time frame charts that you're going to keep track of. You're going to watch. We should take a look at this next week, I would think, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something along those lines out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at JMAI. Sat, hope that helps you out. You also wanted to take a look at the FIG, F-I-G out there. So that is a new IPO from just a few weeks ago. So what I did, in order to take a look at that, I went back to this set of charts out here because I believe you're looking for a bottoming pattern out there. So no, this is not the one that I wanted. I wanted the real one. Give me a moment here. That's the equity. That's really used for equity futures. I remember I tested it out there just to make sure there were bottoming signals. So now we'll get the right one up. All right, so we're not going to get any data out of the monthly, any data out of the weekly, really any data out of the daily, although daily says if you were to see a bullish reversal candle, that would confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. We have no profile levels for those areas as well, Sat. But when you look at the 195-minute time frame chart, TD9 count bottom, Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. If you look at the 130-minute time frame chart, Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Same thing on the 65-minute. Same thing on the 30-minute out there. I'll assume that the 15-minute had a bottoming signal as well. Now, when you look at the 30-minute time frame chart out here, we can see that price is pulling back. It has profile support at 72.78, and it has its breakout support at $72. That's the range where you could look to, put on a few shares, which is what you're looking for. So you've got those bottoming signals. And what you would do is you would jettison those shares if you saw a close below 73.21. If we see a close below 73.21, we're likely to hold on. That's not the right number. The right number is $67. Geez Louise, TV. $67 out there. Price close below $67. Then we're likely headed lower. Now, what's the upside potential right now? What I can just simply share with you is you've got a number of battles, as you would expect, an IPO that basically traded lower, almost since it opened out there. So you've got a bunch of different battles out there. But if you're looking for bottoming signals, I would say that FIG has got them, across the board, with the daily being the exception at this point in time. So, Sad, I hope that helps you out, and always good to get requests from you. Sam writes in, I believe this might be Sam's first request out here, and Sam would like to take a look at Tesla. So let's pull up the chart for Tesla. Stevie's got to remember, where did he put those things? He didn't put it there. He might have put it here. He did. So now let's take a look at TSLA. This is for Sam. I don't know why the charts are black out there, but soon enough they'll be white. You've got Tesla trading out at 344.76 with inside its slightly bullish structured daily profile. Price is traded above its green oscillator and change line. What I would suggest, Sam, is that price is going to go target the top of that profile at 348.98. There is an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside that gets us up towards that level as well. On a weekly time frame, we're trading above profile resistance and its oscillator and change line. That says that it wants to rally further. Its price target would be its bearish shooting star candle from May 30th. So the range would be from 345.29 up to 367.71. The monthly time frame chart for Tesla is all out bullish. Bullish because we're trading above profile resistance and its green oscillator and change line. So it too wants to rally. So we've got signals on the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame that Tesla should continue to move higher. Its next battle or key battle is going to be 348.98. If you can close above that, you're headed even higher. In fact, you could set up a new A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. So if price is able to take out, close above 348.98, do it with more than 67 million shares, you would trigger a new and a larger AB equals CD pattern to the upside. So that's what I see, Sam, when we take a look at Tesla, TSLA. Great to hear from you. Thanks so much for your request. I believe this is a request, but if not, well, it's going to turn into a request. And that's ticker symbol LIDR. And this is for ELO inside the Tiger's Den. So let's get that up on our screen, see what we've got here. Trading out at 315. Inside its daily profile, and it's a bullish structured profile. Now, price is traded above its green oscillator and change line at 304. You need to see two consecutive closes yellow above that green oscillator and change line on the daily time frame to then confirm that it should make a move to 373. Getting to 373 is only the center of that very large profile out there, and if you can close above 373, LIDR ought to make a run for 590. The weekly time frame chart has a TD9 count top. Price should pull back even further. It didn't find support. I don't have a bottoming signal, but what we do have is price trade above the center of its bullish structured profile. So if you get two consecutive closes on a weekly base above $3, that says you can make a move all the way up to 587. And finally, the monthly chart, just no data there that's going to provide us with any type of information that we need. So looking pretty decent with regard to LIDR as to its rally, but needs to get that daily close, two of them, above that 304 level out there. Nitram writes in, wants to take a good Rivian, R-I-V-N. They do have very nice looking cars out there, although I've never seen a dealership, but I've seen a couple of folks driving their little trucks out there. But Rivian running into resistance here this morning, Nitram, at the top of its daily profile, 1338. Turns out it's also a resistance area on the weekly time frame. That happens to be the oscillator and change line. And that's what's holding things back out there, is that 1338-ish level. On a weekly basis, if price is able to close above the top of its oscillator and change line, that's currently printed at 1308 out there. If you can close above that, you're likely going to rally further out there. And I'd say you'd rally up towards 1407. If you get above 1407 with regard to Rivian, 1808 becomes your number. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. Why don't we close out the show looking at the intraday charts here for the equity futures? Let's start with the NQ out there. So the NQ right now is attempting to negate a TD9 count top for its 10-minute time frame. it would accomplish that task at 12 noon with a close above 23,607, and that would then suggest higher price. So watch 23,607 come noontime. On a 15-minute time frame, we're going to go ahead and confirm a TD9 count top at 12 noon, complete that pattern at 12:15. That would suggest that price would pull back to its oscillator and change line around the 23,555 level. The 30-minute time frame chart does not have any kind of a topping pattern, but watch those 10 and 15-minute charts. If they get negated, then that's a positive. The 60-minute time frame chart has resist up at 23,650, as does the 120-minute time frame chart out there. That looks like a likely price target if these TD9 count tops for the 15 and 10-minute chart fail. The 240-minute time frame chart price is trading above or trading with inside its bullish structured profile. It is signaling to you and I with price trading above 23,535 that it does want to make a run for 23,650. What do we know about 23,650? That is resistance on the 2-hour. That's resistance on the 1 hour. And that is resistance on the 4-hour. I'm going with 23,650 is a likely destination before we start to see the fireworks show. Let's take a look at the ES Mini out here, see if it's got similar type signals. It'll take a moment for this to populate out there. The ES Mini, remember, finding resistance, I don't have it at this chart here, at its perigee pivot point for its daily time frame. But now we take a look at the intraday charts out there. Do not have any kind of TD9 count topping patterns for the 10 or the 15-minute time frame chart or the 30-minute time frame chart. The 30-minute time frame chart does have resistance at 64.80. Significant resistance. If price can close above that, we likely rally further. The 120-minute time frame chart price is trading above the center of its bullish structure profile, and that says that it really wants to, over time, get up to 64.96 out there. Folks, thanks so much for joining me on Marvelous Monday. I hope that's what you have. I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. How about 3:15 with Tommy O'Brien, and then tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp. So have a magical Monday, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Take care and be safe.